Another day in lockdown, another project. This is a fidget spinner. Yes, I know I'm about 3 years behind when it comes to fidget spinners, but this is something a little bit different. We've got a circuit board here which is sandwiched between two covers like that, which will be clear once we get them out. We've got some LEDs which are here. Now they will go on the circuit board across there. We've got the bearing that goes in the middle and the covers. We've got some resistors, an IC, battery holder and a couple of nuts and bolts. So what this is that the spinner, so when it all gets put together, you put it in your hand, you spin it round and the LEDs change colour. And you would have noticed this is a solder on board, or SMD, surface mount devices. So I've got a new toy that I'm going to try, which will allow me to magnify and solder at the same time. Now, the only thing I'm not entirely sure of at the moment is which way around the LEDs go onto the circuit board. So I think I need to find out how that's done. Also is how the bearings stay in, because that actually passes through like that. So I'm not entirely sure how that stays on, so we need to find out that as well. So a fun little kit. Let's get started. So I said I had a new toy, and this is it. It's a mounted magnifying glass. So the image you're looking at there is on a 7-inch screen, and it's magnifying the circuit board down there. It's got a little adjuster up the side, so I can adjust it up and down like that. And it's got a a focus, I should say, a fine focus on there. I can also record as well and take photographs on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attempt to do the next bit recording on this rather than my camera, so you can see what's going on down there. Okay, so you should be able to see the circuit board now, and what I've noticed is that in the corner here there is a dot. So on each corner, look, there's a dot there, so I'm going to assume that's quite important. Let's have a look at one of the LEDs. Just put that out there we go, right. So there's one of the LEDs, and look, yes, we can see on this corner there's a slight cutout just there. So I'm going to assume, let's just get the tweezers out. So I'm going to assume that that goes to that corner where the dot is. So that's going to go on something like that. This is going to be fun to solder up, isn't it? Okay. Now the temperature of the soldering iron, it's got to be pretty low on this, otherwise this LED is going to get damaged. So okay, let's fire up the soldering iron and let's give one of them a try. Well, you've watched me make a complete hash of the soldering of the LEDs underside. The other components didn't go too badly, but I'm really very much doubting if the LEDs are going to work. But I'm going to press on, and the next bit we've got to do is to put the bearings in the middle somehow. So I think the best way of doing it, because it's going to be sandwiched together, is if I put one of them there, put that on, then put that on, then I can solder it in place. So first thing we've got to do is get this off. I hope you like the close-up shots, by the way, or from the microscope. If you like them, please leave a comment below. If you didn't like them, please leave a comment below. You may be wondering, by the way, why I didn't use solder paste for the soldering. Well, one thing I've discovered is that solder paste goes off, and if you don't use it, it doesn't work, and my solder paste has gone off, so I can't use it. So that's why I never used it. Right, okay, so that's on there. Bearings go in the middle. Make sure the LEDs line up to the cutout. And then what we've got to do is solder all the way, well, not all the way around, either side, top and bottom. So for this, I'm going to put a dollop of flux. It's going to need a lot of heat, this is, because it's going to lose a lot of heat in the bearings. Right, let's give that a blast. Okay, let's see if this works then. Right, looks a bit of a mess, but it should be okay actually. Yeah, well, it kind of spins. Let's get this one on. Okay, so we've got to do a couple of other things now. Surely that's not right. I suppose it is. Right, batteries time I think. Right, before I get the batteries, I think I'm going to attempt to get these screws in place. If I've done this right, which I don't understand that. How is that supposed to sit on there? Or should it be sit on there? Well, because that screw won't go through all that. And even if you did have that on there, how do you get to the switch? Right, okay, I'm going to leave that off. I'm going to leave that off for the time being. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. In the meantime, we'll just put the covers on that. Right, batteries. Right, I have a couple of batteries, just dug them out the drawer. So it's plus goes up. It's working. Right, let me there we go. Okay, so the third LED is only flashing red, so there's a slight problem with the third one. Let's give it a spin. Oops. Well, in the words of Victor Meldrew, I don't believe it. I don't believe it because it works. There you go. If I darken it down a bit, you can see that third LED from the left, from the right, is just red. It's not quite right, but the others are okay. I think it's trying to do a pattern of some sort. Well, there you go. I didn't expect that to work. I'll have a look under the microscope on that third one again to see if I can work out which leg is not soldered. But apart from that, do you know, I call that a winner because it's working. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up. If you like what I do, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again soon. It actually looks slightly better when you look at it on the bench. Yes, it is. If you look at it, it's probably a bit difficult to look at it on the video, but it is actually changing pattern. It is, yeah. You can watch it and it's changing pattern. Brilliant. just a little update. Since I finished making this, what I did is I made a cutout in the perspex so you can get to the switch now. You still have to use a little screwdriver or something to press the button to switch it on and off, but I wanted to make sure that plastic cover went on it. I don't think it should actually go on there because when you try and screw the ends down, it bends the plastic so much that you can't actually hold the spinner, because it bends round the batteries here, which then pops out the top bit here. And the other thing I've done is also resoldered that third LED that was playing up. So now if I, oh, not that way, that way. So now all the LEDs are now working correctly. If I give that a spin, all the patterns are now showing correctly as well. So that's just a little update that I wanted to show you following the video that I did. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.